I am Flight Attendant Jojo. Welcome to today's news report. All right, there you go. Little preview of me tying my scarf. Yes, it worked. Make sure to hit that like button. I'm really excited. Firstly, in case you did not hear me, I am Flight Attendant Jojo. I want to hit probably the nitty-gritty of our airline news first. So I'm a flight attendant and I'm obsessed with aviation and airlines. And even though I'm on furlough, I am keeping updated and I'm keeping you updated. So what happened over Thanksgiving? Let's see. Pilot shortage prompts rare flight cancellations at Delta over Thanksgiving break. This has to do with buyouts. So they have given their pilots buyouts. I believe later in this article, it shows that 1,800 Delta pilots took those early buyouts. They retired. And if you don't know, as a pilot in the US, you do have to retire at 65. I'm sure a lot of these guys were just really close to it and they offered them some money and they said, peace out. Now, when they say Delta canceled all these flights due to a pilot shortage, I don't know. What do you guys think that came down to? I guess all of them called out sick. Apparently, though, the pilots have decided to take partial pay to avoid 1,700 furloughs in 2022, which that is so nice. I mean, it's not nice to have a pay cut, but to not lose your job for those other 1,700 pilots, that's really great. On Thursday, it shows that Delta canceled 300 flights. That's 20% of its schedule. And then on Friday, they had to cancel another 160 flights, and that was around 9% of their schedule on Friday. Now, I have been on trips where I look a month in advance or I'm looking a week in advance and I don't see any pilots for my holiday flights because they haven't staffed them. But typically what happens is they can get a crew or some pilots that are already working on that holiday onto that flight. They just let them know they've been rescheduled or rerouted, and then you end up with pilots during a trip. But I have looked at my holiday schedules and I have seen no pilots, and I wonder if I'm just gonna be serving on the ground, but pilots usually pull through. I'm very curious to what the details were with Delta. It doesn't give any specifics other than they canceled and Delta apologized. Back to one of the most interesting topics we've had recently is that 737 I can't say it on here, otherwise this video gets taken down of some sort. It's really weird, so I'm just gonna refer to it as the M. All right, this airline, and we all know who we're talking about right there, is flying 5 employee-only 737 flights to nowhere. What they're doing is they're taking off from right here. It shows Dallas, Miami, LaGuardia, and Miami. They're giving test flights to the airline employees to get them comfortable with flying again. All right, I'm not kidding you when I saw this article and realized that I could list myself on one of these flights. I went straight to my airline's portal and I found the link where I could list myself. In the link, I'm not kidding you, it says all the people that are allowed to list themselves. And then it's comma, comma, comma. I thought I was looking at commas, but it said retirees, which I'm considered a retiree now that I'm furloughed. Retirees and partners cannot go on the flight. I zoomed in and realized it was a period. So I was excluded from this opportunity. Otherwise, you guys, I would have happily flown to Dallas, Miami, or New York just to get you footage of the M. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people feel like you'd have to pay me to get on that plane, but I'd do it for you guys. To sum up what they're doing, they are taking off from that airport, doing a loop, flying in the air for an hour, and landing back at that same airport. So open to employees that are currently working. It can be anyone. It doesn't even have to be just the cabin crew. You are ground personnel. This is for you. and you can book yourself. You just have to go to the portal and register. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one yet, but it's called the Sleepers Row. Have you heard of it? It's on an airplane. It is main cabin, but a premium seat in main cabin. I am not kidding you. And this is even better as you see the photo. You can now book a lie flat economy seat with Lufthansa. Look at this. They've put a blanket down on 3 rows. So it's like when you get to main cabin and you're really hoping that you have the 2 seats next to you. Now you're paying to have those 2 seats next to you, and they are calling it the Sleepers Row. They're making a joke because Air New Zealand does have a sofa style seating arrangement also. I have seen it. It honestly does not look bad. It looks very appealing, especially if you're going on these long haul flights. Like if you can guarantee you have no one sitting next to you and you get to have a whole row to yourself with a blanket and a pillow set up, you know, I would take it. What I do question about though is the seatbelts. Like has anyone tried to lay down with their seatbelt buckled and you kind of feel like you're just twisted in an 8 or something? That's how I typically feel when I try to take up the whole row. Or if you're over, I don't know, 6 foot or even 5'10", your feet are probably dangling off the edge of this. And as a flight attendant walking through main cabin and your feet are in the aisle and we try to make it dark so that you can enjoy your sleep, and I eat it in the middle of the aisle because I have a 6-something foot man sleeping in a full row. I'm very curious how Lufthansa flight attendants have been dealing with this. But you know what? It's important for sleep. So you go ahead and I will just keep falling. It looks like there's actually only 1 flight that you could do it on, flight 506 and 507. So if you're flying Lufthansa and your flight number is 506 or 507 between Frankfurt and Sao Paulo, then you get the opportunity to get your lie flat economy product. But I also saw later in this article that you only get to book until mid-December, so you have to be flying soon, and it is 220 euros, $260 US dollars. It is based off first come, first serve. I'm sure if you don't pick this option, it's like the right side of the aircraft is all squished together, or maybe they have their middle seats open, and the whole left side of the airplane, everyone's just like 1 person per row with their little beds. I would love to see this. Here is one of my favorite articles that I have found during my research, other than the fact that I could have gone on a flight and videoed it for you guys, but I can't anymore because I can't. Photos reveal how much flying has changed since its golden age. This was published today. And I think the most exciting part of this article, honestly, or like shocking part, they say seats have not changed in sizes. So when everyone complains that airplane seats have only gotten smaller, they say based off these photos, they haven't gotten smaller. But I think it's so interesting because as I scroll through, you're going to see all these planes look almost like they're cross-country train setups or hotel lobbies. I love the seating arrangement. There's this couch, I think it's the next one, a couch that faces towards the window. So that kind of looks like a regional. Yeah, the airplane seats have not changed much. That's different. That could be fun to fly with your family. But right here, this couch, I love the way it pivoted towards the window. I think the biggest change since they're referring to this golden era is our service. You see martini glasses in every cabin, and yeah, I don't see myself reclining anyone's seat for them. They have said first class seating has significantly been more comfortable over the years, but I love the little setup. I mean, if you were traveling with these other 3 people, but to sit and have a restaurant style meal on a flight makes it very welcoming, comfy, cozy, and the aisle space, come on. Give me that much aisle space and you can have your lie flat economy row, because I clearly would have enough space to walk through and even stand on the side of the cart. I don't know if those carts are really small, but I'm not. In my last JFK flight video, you will see me scoot by the cart, or maybe I edited it out, but I can just barely, I'm pretty small, like barely fit through the aisle and by a cart. If there's passengers on board and their feet are out, I can hardly fit through the aisle. So this chick is standing right next to a cart. They had tons more room in the aisle. I love this setup. We do these setups all the time in our premium cabins when we have a transcon or transatlantic, any international flights where you have bottles, snacks out, and you make the arrangement look really nice. I mean, they're talking about a 747 aircraft flying 500 passengers. That still seems a lot. And if you could have that much space on the airplane, I think it all comes down to, yes, your seat size, but when you look around, how much space is actually on the airplane. I don't know how many passengers a 747 in 2020 can hold. In 1970, it could hold 500 passengers. Also, a huge thing, could you imagine? These are the overhead bin spaces, okay? This is like a briefcase can maybe fit in that overhead bin space. You are not bringing your rollerboard. I'd love to have high ceilings. Put all the baggage underneath the plane and give me those high ceilings. And then we get to the Concorde. All right, that looks packed. I mean, you do get from New York to London, and I think it says 3.5 hours, $10,000 or $20,000 ticket. Wow. Yeah, 3.5 hours. That stopped flying in 2003. That looks just like a regional flight. Let me know if you've ever been on the Concorde. That would be so interesting. Please tell me in the comments if you've flown on that flight. Then we get into the uniforms. When I saw this photo, actually, I thought of Southwest, because sometimes I've seen Southwest flight attendants, and I just think it's like the pilot's tennis wife because they can wear shorts. But that is so weird, like foreign to me in my airline, because we don't have shorts. But I love the concept, and here is this girl in shorts. Last but not least, one of our favorite things to do, let's play our airplane game. We're gonna pick 3 flights that are flying in the sky. And because we were talking about Lufthansa, I just searched Lufthansa. Let's go find a Lufthansa flight. I don't know, leave in the comments for the next time we do this, what specific way we want to. I'm gonna pick the 3 flights in Africa because I think this is really interesting. We don't fly to Africa, so I would love to. Let's see what they're doing. Lufthansa, Angola to Frankfurt, Germany. 8-hour, 35-minute flight. Wow, I never look at flights to Africa, but to go from Germany to Africa in 8 hours does not seem that long. I don't know what I'm saying. They're flying at 38,000 feet. You're halfway there, you guys. This one, Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh my gosh. I want to go there, and I want to drink all of their wine, and I want to eat all of their food. My best friend went and lived in South Africa for 3 months, and she gained like 15 pounds, I think, because the food is so good, just street food. Okay, here, this seems more accurate to me. 11 hours and 25 minutes. It is South Africa. We're literally from the bottom of Africa. They are a lot closer than the other one. 3 hours, 43 minutes remaining. Johannesburg. Oh, send me the cheapest flights to Johannesburg from LA, and I want to go. They are flying at 34,000 feet. Airbus 340. This is an Airbus 340. 300. Because I don't really know planes that aren't in my fleet. Sorry. 30 business class, 28 premium economy, and 221 economy. So it's not double decker, but it kind of reminds me of a 767. No, it reminds me of like a vintage 777. Yeah, like a 777-200 from the early 2000s. That's what this reminds me of. But it's Airbus, not Boeing. Let me know in the comments if you like Boeing or Airbus more. I'm curious to what my channel prefers, or what, society prefers. And the last one, let's go down. Where are they going to? From Frankfurt. It looks like all of them were going to or from Frankfurt, and the flying time to and from South Africa is not that different. Cape Town versus Johannesburg, but 11 hours, 40 minutes, and the other one was like 11 hours, 32 minutes. They are not almost there at all. They have 8 hours to go. I think that's my goal, actually. I want a flight from LA to Germany. No, I'm probably gonna have to connect like LA, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Germany, and then go down to Cape Town or Johannesburg. And I wanna fly over all of Africa and I wanna see what it looks like. Perfect, go straight down. That would be a good flight. That would be worthwhile looking out the window. Okay, you guys, that's all I've got for this video. Please, please, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, I can see it. So please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it so much. Leave a comment. I love chatting with you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.